Yo, what's going on, guys? Just finally been able to sit down. We recorded the show, uploaded it. Now, finished my first day of the semester. Senior year, guys. A little sad, College went by quick. Now, a few Laker news happened. Now, that news was specifically, first off, there was reported, let me get this report correctly because I want to give the person, the Stein line, Mark Stein, said re-signing free agent guard Dennis Schroeder is a legit consideration for the Lakers, league sources say, depending on how the rest of their roster develops. After one season as a Laker, Schroeder played for the Houston Rockets and Boston Celtics. Now, besides that, there was also a report that, according to, I don't know who this is, but his name is Evan Cedery, for a national NBA reporter for Basketball News, basketballnews.com. And he wrote that Pat Bev and Bojan Bogdanovic are two potential targets to keep an eye on for the Lakers. And Shams Charania was on the Pat McAfee Show today and said what they're trying to do is go out and try to get guys like Bojan Bogdanovic, Mike Conley, Pat Bev, Malik Beasley are guys they're looking at. There's also guys like Buddy Hield, Miles Turner. Those are all guys that, if you can get a combination of those players and then go into free agency and maybe sign like a Dennis Schroeder and maybe even bring back Carmelo to round out the bench, and you trade for Bojan and Pat Bev or Bojan and Mike Conley, or a combination of Bojan and Pat Bev, and maybe even throw Malik in there, okay, for a first-round pick or 2 first-round picks in Russell Westbrook, or maybe they go and get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield and round out the center position and get a shooter, and then, round out the bench with Dennis Schroeder and Carmelo Anthony. That is more of if you add either Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, or the trio of the guys that I said from the Utah Jazz, or anybody from the Utah Jazz that is Mike Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Mike Conley and Pat Bev, and I'll throw Malik in there. All those guys, I think, would tremendously help this team. Shooters. They should be looking at shooters. I don't think they should be actually interested in Mike Conley. I think the best deal that they could do is Bojan's making like 19. Pat Bev's making 13. If you throw on Malik Beasley, that's about $47 million. Guess who's making $47 million on the Lakers? Russell Westbrook. 3 players for Westbrook, throw him the 2 firsts. I'm fine with that. Malik Beasley off the bench. You start Bojan and Pat Bev. Okay. You throw in maybe, I guess you would have to choose. I think Austin Reeves would be the starter. Then off the bench, maybe you bring in Schroeder, Carmelo. Now you have Juan Toscano Anderson, Schroeder. You got yourself still, the guys that you picked up, Damian Jones, Thomas Bryant. One of them's going to start. Okay. And I think this team starts to take a bit more shape than people would have. I think it'd be better, okay? Troy Brown Jr. Like, this is a team that very much, I think this would be a decent move, because you can get, Bojan, Malik, and Malik would be off the bench. Literally, Lonnie Walker, Malik, Kendrick Nunn off the bench, and you still have Stanley Johnson and Wayne Gabriel. Like, your starting lineup could honestly be, Pat Bev, Malik Beasley, Bojan, LeBron, Davis off the bench. Then you would literally have Lonnie Walker, Kendrick Nunn, Stanley Johnson, Damian Jones, Thomas Bryant, Juan Toscano Anderson, Troy Brown, Wayne Gabriel, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, and they still have Cole Swider and Scotty P on 2-ways. And maybe even sign Dennis Schroeder and Carmelo. That bench is way better than I think people will give them credit for. And for me, I think that's something that they should be interested in looking at. And maybe I'm wrong. But I think in my mind, their best deal that they can get right now is going to be something along those lines. And to be quite frank, that's not a bad deal. I don't think anyone should sit here and be like, oh my God, why would they ever do that? Like, that's such a bad deal. Nah, I think there are worse deals out there. And I think the Lakers would benefit from doing a deal like this, okay? We've talked about it before. And I think this is just an example of people casual NBA fans, people on Twitter undervalue NBA players. Bojan Bogdanovic, Pat Bev, Mike Conley, all the guys that I've mentioned in this video are good players that are guys who would help this team be a championship roster. Regardless of what you think of them, they would help this team become a championship roster. And those are the moves that they need to make, honestly.